The country may still be blanketed in a dusting of snow, but the Queen looked like she was ready to usher in the spring in a pretty peach ensemble this morning. The brilliant blue sky above St. Peter and St. Paul Church in West Newton, close to the Sandringham estate, belied the chilly temperatures as Her Majesty, 92, attended the traditional Sunday morning church service. Donning a warm-looking but stylish peach woolen coat with a matching hat, with feather detail, the Queen stopped to smile at well-wishers. She was greeted by a crowd of around 200 people as she arrived in her maroon-colored Bentley at the West Newton Church on her 20,000-acre Sandringham estate. Wearing her favorite black loafers with buckle detail, she accessorized with black gloves and a smart black leather handbag. The Queen looked fit and well as she walked unaided up the 80-yard path of the 14th-century church, accompanied by Sandringham rector, the Jonathan Riviere. While the weather at Sandringham has hovered around the freezing mark all week, the mercury did rise to around 3 degrees Celsius today. Many were brandishing smartphones, taking snaps of the monarch shortly after she arrived. One bystander handed her a bunch of daffodils, suggesting the change in seasons really is on its way. The 45 church-minute service included 21 children from the local Sunday school performing a play called Searching for Jesus. Afterwards, the Queen walked to the neighboring West Newton Village Hall, pausing to accept flowers from children and royal fans. All the bouquets were handed by a queen to a lady-in-waiting before being passed to a policewoman and left outside the village hall. The Queen disclosed to one member of the crowd how her racehorse Estimate, which won the Ascot Gold Cup in 2013, was in foal for the third time. Hilary Marsh, 66, struck up a conversation with the Queen, saying how she had been coming to see her at Sandringham for 40 years and admired the statue of Estimate which was erected outside Sandringham House in 2016. Mrs. Marsh of Burwell, Suffolk, who was with her husband Brian, 70, said, "The Queen told me that Estimate was in foal at her stud farm in Sandringham and was due any day. Everyone knows that the Queen loves her horses, so I hope she gets a chance to see the foal before she goes back to London." She seemed quite excited about it. The Queen also stopped to speak to 6-year-old Freddie Reinhold of Rum, Norfolk, who told her, "I've got a Lego gem," referring to the pirate treasure chest jewel accessories and the range of building bricks. She looked as if she understood what he was saying and smiled as she replied, "That's nice." The Queen also accepted orange and white roses from Evelina Curtis, 4, of Sitterstone, Norfolk, and Edie Freer, 3, of nearby Southwotton. Edie's grandmother Maggie Anderson, 67, of Southwotton, said, "By coincidence the flowers were luckily the same color as the Queen's outfit." She said, "Thank you so much, they match, which was nice. It made our day." An Italian care worker who only gave her name as Sylvia, 21, from Verona, also earned herself a smile from the Queen when she wished her a good morning and buongiorno in her native tongue. The Queen asked if she was visiting and Sylvia explained that she was working as a carer for people with learning disabilities in King's Lynn. The Queen spoke to regular royal watcher Julie McCarthy-Fox, 54, of Horsham, West Sussex, asking her, "Are you frozen, standing out here? You are quite well covered up." She also talked to veteran royal watcher Mary Ralph, asking how she was because she knew she had been ill. Mrs. Ralph of Sholdham, Norfolk, who has been following the royal family for more than 70 years, said, "I asked her if she had enjoyed her stay in Norfolk and she said, very much so." The Queen spent 10 minutes after the service in the village hall, chatting to the Sunday school children who had been presented with Bibles and Narnia books at their annual prize-giving. The 92-year-old will have welcomed the bright blue skies after a wintry week in Norfolk, where the Queen has been residing. Prince Philip did not attend the church service. The Duke of Edinburgh, who is officially retired from public duties, has kept a lower profile since his accident in January, which saw him collide with an oncoming vehicle after being dazzled by the bright sunshine. The accident happened as Philip pulled out of a side road onto the 60 mph limit A149 road. His Land Rover collided with a Kia car, sending his vehicle tumbling across the road where it ended up on its side. Last week, the monarch was seen enjoying a shoot with some close friends on the Sandringham estate. Joined by her daughter Princess Anne and her husband Tim Lawrence, the 92-year-old led the way, using a walking stick to negotiate the rough terrain. Prince Philip did not attend. However, racing legend Sir Jackie Stewart was among the shooting party, and is well known for being a keen marksman. The 79-year-old was a prize-winning member of the Scottish clay pigeon shooting team before he became a racing driver and competed in the UK and abroad.